Primanti brothers announced a cowboy hat ban headed into Monday night's playoff matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and Houston Texans. The move, which the restaurant chain described in a news release as bold and mildly petty, includes cattleman, pinch front, brick crown, open crown, flat brim, rolled brim, and 10-gallon style hats. In a statement, Primanti brothers spokesman Ryan Wilkinson said it was bad manners to wear a hat indoors. "This ban is about ensuring our restaurants remain a classy place to be," Wilkinson said. "It has nothing to do with the incoming Houston Texans. Along those lines, we're also totally cool with painted faces, black and gold Zubaz pants, and hard hats. You know, pure class." A Facebook post about the ban had over 350 comments as of Monday morning. Why not take it one step further and ban anyone from Texas or anyone wearing Texans gear? "Being serious," one user posted. Another pointed out, "Better hope Mel Blount doesn't stop in." "These comments are the best," said one user on Sunday. Whoever is on the other end of the Primanti posts is hysterical. The Steelers-Texans game kicks off at 8:15 p.m. Monday. In honor of the game, Primanti brothers will feature game day specials all day Monday. "Ultimately, I guess as long as you don't ask for your fries or slaw on the side, we're good," said Wilkinson. "But at least for this weekend, don't wear the hat." Up until a 2 p.m. meeting on Tuesday, Mike Tomlin was the Pittsburgh Steelers. The longtime head coach defined the team's culture, decision-making, and consistent season-by-season results. Whenever any team loses a head coach, it results in massive change. But in the Steelers' case, it feels especially seismic. He was the longest-tenured head coach with a team in the entire NFL before stepping down, leading a franchise that is famously loyal to its leadership. In the coming days and weeks, we'll have in-detail breakdowns on everything related to the Steelers' head coaching search this offseason. But in the meantime, here are some instant takeaways from Tomlin's sudden departure. There's a big chance the Steelers get worse. This isn't necessarily refuting that it was time for Pittsburgh and Tomlin to part ways. Think of it similarly to when Ben Roethlisberger retired. There are many good reasons why it had to happen, but the Steelers have been in quarterback purgatory ever since. While signing a good head coach isn't dependent on draft position like quarterback, both positions are in high demand in the NFL because it is difficult to find a quality one. In recent years, Tomlin's Steelers teams had fallen short in the playoffs, but he was also one of the best floor raisers in the league. There's no denying Tomlin has set an unusually high standard for whoever follows him in Pittsburgh. The Steelers haven't hired a head coach since 2007. And of course, when the Steelers hired Tomlin, they hadn't been in the market for a new head coach since 1992. Pittsburgh has successfully hired head coaches for longer than any other franchise in the league. But this is also an organization and ownership that hasn't had to undertake the extensive process of hiring a new head coach in almost 2 decades. The inexperience could be worrying, but more interesting is the lack of precedent. The team could go in a number of directions with its head coaching search, and it's hard to know what exactly that will look like. The coaching staff will drastically change. This one is the most obvious takeaway. There will be a new head coach who will do things differently than Tomlin, including bringing in some of the staff changes fans have been requesting for years. It's hard to see a future where names such as offensive coordinator Arthur Smith or defensive coordinator Terrell Austin stick around as the new brain trust sets up shop. And depending on if the new head coach is defensively or offensively minded, the coordinator hire on the other side of the ball will be especially important. Tomlin's roster-building influence is gone. Like all head coaches in the NFL, Mike Tomlin has had an influence in the Steelers' roster construction over the years. Now, that will be replaced with another coach's preferences. But on the flip side, Tomlin's reputation around the league led to a lot of players wanting to join or continue playing for the Steelers, especially veteran free agents. That extends to players on the team as well. With Tomlin now out of the picture, the odds of players such as Aaron Rodgers or Cam Hayward returning for another season drastically drops. The team's draw for free agents will change, potentially for the worse, this offseason as well. The Steelers have one of the most intriguing job openings in the NFL. The head coach hiring process is a mutual one. Just because a team has interest doesn't mean a candidate will want the job. In many ways, the Pittsburgh job is a fantastic opening. Historically, the team is patient with its coaching hire. Remember, Tomlin stepped down, and the new head coach would be stepping into a team culture that's used to winning and competing for a playoff spot. Teams such as the Jets have a reputation for chewing up and spitting out new hires. It's the exact opposite case in Pittsburgh. That said, the Steelers have an aging roster with no clear quarterback answers in sight. Especially for an offensive-minded candidate, this isn't a particularly exciting roster to take over. Even if Ben Johnson was available in this coaching cycle, Caleb Williams' potential in Chicago would still likely outshine the promise of stability in Pittsburgh. It's a weird year to need a new head coach. There were two obviously elite candidates in the 2025 NFL head coaching cycle in Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen. While there's no way of knowing how this year's rookie head coaching class will eventually compare, it isn't as immediately appealing, and there are a lot of open spots across the league the Steelers will be competing with. Poaching from the college ranks is always a risk. And the top names with NFL experience, John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski, Mike McDaniel, Brian Flores, have all recently been fired from past head coaching stints. There are some potentially up-and-coming names in Clint Kubiak and Jesse Minter, to name a few, but there aren't as many clear slam-dunk options this offseason. Time will tell if 2026 is a good year to look for a new head coach. In a move that shook the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers announced the departure of Mike Tomlin after 18 seasons. The franchise's longest-serving coach leaves the position, ending one of the league's most stable cycles, marked by consistency, competitiveness, and a strong defensive identity that became the Steelers' trademark for almost 2 decades. Tomlin, a Super Bowl 43 champion and owner of a rare NFL feat, no losing season, departs as one of the most respected coaches in recent American football history. His departure represents not only the end of an era in Pittsburgh, but also a change in philosophy for a franchise traditionally known for continuity in its coaching leadership. To fill the position, the Steelers' management opted for an equally experienced and victorious name, Pete Carroll. The former Seattle Seahawks coach takes on the challenge of leading the team with the mission of maintaining its competitive standard while simultaneously imprinting his own identity. Known for his motivational profile, his emphasis on young talent, and his aggressive playing style, Carroll arrives with the expectation of revitalizing the roster and repositioning the team among the top contenders in the AFC. The change in leadership symbolizes a rare moment of rupture in the Steelers' recent history. While Tomlin's departure generates commotion among fans and analysts, Carroll's arrival sparks curiosity and hope. The encounter between Pittsburgh's tradition and the new coach's modern approach promises to inaugurate a new chapter in the franchise, now under the watchful eye of the entire league.